Do not think for 1 minute that Marcus Garvey Drive flooding is caused by Marcus Garvey Drive. Marcus Garvey Drive flooding is coming from upstream. The gully system that feed and pass by Marcus Garvey Drive are now coming in. Now Marcus Garvey Drive drains themselves may need updating or maintaining or whatever. That's fine. But that's the drain. The water is the problem, and the water is not exactly. So it's important, and also it's very important to understand that drainage systems need to not just focus on water; it also needs to focus on debris in the system as well. So maintenance and stuff are going to be critical.
We decided to run these models of sea level rise. So it's simulated to 2100. So the expectation given the IPCC scenario for RCP 8.5 is that by the year 2100 we should have at least a 1 meter rise. As a matter of fact, they're projected to be slightly higher depending on which scenario you're looking at.
But this is what 1 meter looks like.
So this is what 1 meter looks like. You're seeing what? The digital building, the UDC, digital over there, the UDC building. So these are the major buildings on our waterfront. All of these scenarios, it's covering that ground floor. Yeah. And then, in talking with some of these corporations, you realize, but the ground floor mean a lot of their electrical. There's a lot that is in the basement and the ground floor that is at risk. So I think visually, it's far more impacting when, instead of just printing it in the newspaper or online, you're going to be impacted by a 1 meter sea level rise by 2100. But this is what people relate to, the visual of it. So this is why we produce these kinds of scenarios and simulations. So that it's just, it has that greater appeal and impact. But ultimately, it's done to try and coax developers. So when it comes to development, a lot of times it's a bottom line that drives, how far they can go with their mitigation measures. And sitting down in boardrooms, sometimes you hear, for us to go and plan for a 1 meter rise event, it's going to be so much more expensive. But really, in the long run, it even ends up being far more expensive than what you would spend now trying to mitigate against this. And then what does mitigation mean? Does it mean that you're going to try and reclaim land in front of you on the shoreline? Does it mean that you as a government, you're going to mandate that people build further inland and you don't focus on development on your shoreline? Then what happens to a lot of that infrastructure and investment that has gone into your shoreline so far? So, it's kind of that balance that you have to try to strike between sustainability and trying to meet your investors'